Hi and welcome to Phoenix Crypto. My name's Andy, commonly known as Sun Tzu on a number of Telegram and Discord groups. This is my very first stream, so just be kind to me. So I want to talk to you a little bit about an amazing trade that I did yesterday that netted me 1100%. Now that sounds a bit crazy. You can see the chart in front of you, and I'll talk you through exactly when I entered and exactly when I got out of that trade and what I was looking for in order to get it. So the first thing is you'll see my chart on my screen. You'll see these green lines. These green lines are support and resistance lines that I map out manually. They're incredibly important, and maybe in another video I'll talk to you a bit about why they're important and how I go about drawing these. And I can also talk through a little bit more on another video about some of the indicators that I use. But I am going to focus on two in particular that really helped me. So the first thing that I get asked when people look at my trades is, how did I find such a perfect entry point? And the reality is I don't. Right? I look at the macro trend. I look at what I think is going to happen in the next, 4 hours, the 6 hour chart, the 8 hour chart. In this instance, I also looked at the 12-hour chart, the 1-day chart, the 2-day chart, all the way up, and you can see at the top here, you can see all of the different charts, the time frames that I look at. So let me just increase this up. So this will be quite familiar to a lot of people. This is Market Cipher, one of the leading indicators, one of my favorites, and I could talk about exactly what I like about that another day. Here underneath, an incredibly important indicator for me and something that I use extensively is Wolfpack Pro, and I'll talk again a little bit about what this was telling me on this exact trade. Okay, so the first thing is, and I'll try and just zoom this up a bit. I entered this trade at just under 62,000, right? So you can see 62,000 here, and you can see it had risen quite a good amount up to that point, but it hadn't broken. And you can see I've drawn this trend line, right? This white trend, this trend line in white here, and you can see. So firstly, the rationale behind the trade was we hit this all-time high over here. Let me just move this chart down. We hit this all-time high over here, and obviously, we've retested multiple times this really important line of resistance, okay, and support. We've tested it here. We've tested it and dipped below and regained it. We've tested it here, tested it here, and it comes to a point where after so many retests, we can be reasonably confident that this line of support is going to hold, right? It is going to hold. The second thing is you can see this trend line in white here, and you can see that we are clearly getting closer and closer to the point where the price is either going to break up or it's going to break down, right? So that was one of the first things. I really wanted to get into the trade down over here, around the 60k mark. I thought about it, flirted with it, wasn't wholly confident, got into the trade, I got out break even. Okay. In hindsight, would love to have stayed in that trade, but I felt it was just too much risk. Okay. Now looking at the 2-hour chart, which I've got in front, you can see on Wolfpack Pro, you can see these green dots. They're a strong buy signal. You can see the green diamond. That's a strong signal. And you can see that these lightning bolts, which are a fairly new addition to the indicator, they were showing a kind of like a dip, and not just a dip, but one that's designed to almost mislead you, and you can see again another signal here strong buy signal. Really, at this point, should have been entering, but wasn't 100% sure. Click to the 4-hour chart, and you can see here, Wolfpack Pro, strong buy signal, so would have been perfect time. So if you can see that would have been a perfect time to enter, absolutely perfect time. What actually made me decide to enter the trade was actually on the 8-hour chart. Okay, so let me just reducing the size. In fact, I'll actually zoom this up a little bit. And another day, I'll go through, Wolfpack Pro, why I like it, what it's all about. Now, in fact, I'll actually draw your attention to over here, and this is the very end of October, and I actually saw this, and these, golden crosses, they're incredibly important. They are signifying a possible breakout. Right? Now, around this time, end of September, on the 1st of October, we had absolutely insane pump. We went from, I think it was about 40k, right the way up, and I think over here we hit the all-time high, 65k. Absolutely incredible. And I completely missed it. Thought I had a little bit more time. And you can see, golden cross here. You can see these green diamonds, which always are before the golden crosses. Always, lot of signals. You can see I'm very much like Market Cipher. You can see the trend line. You can see, which way this is going, right? You can see the direction. The momentum is moving up. Now, on an 8-hour chart, signals are typically, and this goes for same for all the high time frames, are fairly reliable. It's a whole lot different if you're using a 10-minute chart, 15-minute chart, 5-minute chart, 3-minute chart. There's not enough data, or not as much data for these indicators, all these indicators to make a decision on. But on the 8-hour, very solid. So I completely missed this, and I thought, I'm not going to do that again. We've got over here the diamond, green diamond, followed, as often happens, is a golden cross. Didn't break out. Got another one here. You can see again, if I get rid of that, you can see, the direction. The direction is moving up. Okay. And what I also like about these, Wolfpack Pro, you can see these lines here on my cursor. These are Bollinger Bands, and you can see they're just over here. It's turning green. And I felt that we were nearing the trend line that I've drawn in white on the price action. We've got this as an indicator on an 8-hour chart. And you can see the positive momentum. November, extremely bullish month. I felt that this was going to be a huge trade, absolutely huge trade. Now, anyone who watches or sees any of my profit logs will know that I like to use high leverage. And again, in another video, I'll go through why I use high leverage, how to use high leverage responsibly. Really important, right? We've all heard stories about people using, 100x and wiping out their account, right? That's not what I'm doing, and I'm certainly not advocating using 100x on large portions of your portfolio. I use 1%. If I think a trade is really high risky, 0.5%, 0.25%. Okay, and you might think, oh, what's the point? But when you're getting 1100% gain, that is a huge portion of my portfolio I've just increased by, massive. So if I zoom back out again, I got in around 62k. I actually got in a little bit before that, and the price action, if I was to go to maybe a 15-minute price action, was ranging. I think you can see this here. price action was ranging around the 62, and I was thinking, are we going to break? Are we going to break now, or are we going to have a little dip? So I wasn't too sure. I actually ended up getting back in at 61.9k. I originally entered at 60.6, so not a huge lot of difference. But you can see, you know, if I was to just increase that a little bit, you can see how much price action was ranging around this kind of point. And of course, once we broke big pump, massive. And I think I topped out. Now, when you look at it on the 15-minute here, you think, gosh, hit here, why did I stay in? But, I know we're in for a bullish month, and I was looking at the charts. I was looking at, and again, let me go to the higher time frames, right, and show you what I was looking at. In fact, I'll look at it on Market Cipher. So I was looking at this here, the VWAP going up and breaking above the zero line. It's hard to see here, but it's a green dot on the daily. The 2 daily green dot, I think we were about to break, or just broke the zero line. The 3 daily, just about to break the zero line, green dot. 4 daily, green dot. About all of these higher time frames were telling me that if I go into a trade, I stick in the trade, it is going to hold. Right? And that gave me the confidence. And not just that, there were higher time frames, the 12 hour, that gave me a lot of confidence. That was just about coming up here. Again, if I draw a trend line, you can see trend moving up. Trend moving up. Positive momentum, right? I wasn't really guided too much by the 1 hour. Right? If I go back and have a look, so on the 8th, there wasn't something that was really screaming to me, jump in. Not really. I wasn't really looking at the 1 hour chart. I certainly wasn't looking at anything below that. And that's when I go back to, trying to find the perfect entry. I wasn't worried about the perfect entry. I was worried about making sure that the charts were giving me the confidence to go up. It was gonna hold. And therefore, when people say to me, you got the perfect entry, I didn't get the perfect entry. I could have got in $1,500 lower, but I didn't. I needed that confirmation. I needed the confidence. Reality is, even reviewing this trade, I can see things that I did that I could have done better, and improved upon. So really important. So that was that trade. I think I've got it on the thumbnail. It was about 1150%. Absolutely crazy trade. I will just go to Litecoin because this is a trade I'm still in. I'll check where it's at now, but last time I looked, it was, believe it or not, in fact, it's 1,800 and 23%. Absolutely incredible trade. Again, did not get the perfect entry at all. Absolutely did not. Let me go to a higher time frame here, just so I can make it easier to see on the screen. So I entered here 201. So you can see here, I entered about here. I actually entered a little bit late, and one of the big reasons why I entered was on the back of what Bitcoin is doing. So we all know Bitcoin is the king of coins, right? It is the king. Bitcoin moves, and it can move the entire market. We all know that. And when Bitcoin dumps, everything else largely goes with it. Litecoin is firstly, it's ridiculously undervalued. If I go, maybe if I go to a weekly view, you can see that compared to its all-time high, I mean, it is considerably lower, is massively undervalued compared to that. So that was firstly that gave me a lot of confidence that what, unlike Bitcoin, which already hit its all-time high, unlike Ethereum, which was already had already broken its all-time high, Litecoin nowhere near, absolutely nowhere near. And actually, when you look at it, we've got another $180 worth of movement left in this, and we've got lots and lots of room to go in. So actually, and you can see, you can see here, this green triangle. That is I have to clarify, but that's another positive bullish sign. That green dot, we know that to be strong buy sign. All of these things. This green flag here telling me there's a nice continuation. So all of these things were telling me, get in. Sorry, apologies. That's a bit of a tick in my throat. So Litecoin always follows Bitcoin. Pretty much always follows. Sometimes lags a little bit. So having seen the insane pump from Bitcoin, got in a little bit late, and actually you can see really how well Litecoin has really done. That had already been quite a big movement. So we've seen absolutely huge move from there. So if I just do a quick measurement, I mean, to wick, that's almost 37%. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Even just to the candle so far, and I appreciate that's still not closed. That is almost 34%. I mean, that is a absolutely, frankly, ridiculous, sick move. But what was I looking at? Again, looking at the momentum, looking at taking some of these signals. But I'll be honest, unlikely, very influenced by what was Bitcoin doing. Bitcoin, king of coins, absolutely. That gave me all the confidence in the world that what, if Bitcoin's going to make a big move, there's going to be other coins that will also make a big move. I go into 4 trades, and I made a mistake on one of them. First was Bitcoin, second was Ethereum, third was Litecoin, and the fourth was Cardano. The mistake I made, Cardano, I got out. What's happened to Cardano? Absolutely colossal pump, absolutely massive. Why did I get out? Bitcoin was starting to have a little bit of a dip. I was worried about increasing my risk. I trade with 1%, which is fine. But if it goes wrong, you can easily lose 3-4%. Just high leverage. You will lose when it moves. If it moves to the upside, big gain. Moves to the downside, big loss, right? And I wanted to minimise the amount of risk that I was exposed to. So that was the reason why. Completely sensible, but in hindsight, really, the indications all there. I can see, even now, I can see all the things that are screaming, this is going to move in a big way. So that's a review of that trade. Brilliant trade. And good one to be in. I'm sticking in Litecoin. I've taken some profit on Bitcoin. If I go back to Bitcoin, you can see that we're currently having a bit of a dip. You can see these red dots on Market Cipher. Not seeing anything yet on Wolfpack Pro. What you can see on Wolfpack Pro, and this is quite nice. It's still quite hard to see, but I'll try and make it these pink squares. That's an RSI indicator showing overbought. Unsurprising when you get such a huge move that the RSI is going to be overbought. Quite a common indication that we might want to see a move down. I'm super bullish about November, super bullish, and I believe we're going to start seeing some really some bigger moves. So although I've taken some profit, hanging in the trade, I'm going to weigh it out a little bit more. It is risky because of course you can lose some of the profit, but there's a stop loss in profit, so if it dips down, I'll still make money. But I think it's going to have a further move to the upside. Litecoin absolutely staying in. It's at 1800%. I think we might have touched 1900, but I didn't get the screen grab off Finance. Phenomenal trade. I think Litecoin's got loads of room to go. Absolutely loads. It's still not broken its all-time high. It's got a load of room to go. So and I think it's a great investment. So sorry, I should say great investment for futures. I'm going to sign off now. This is my first YouTube video, so be kind in the comments. Would appreciate some feedback. Please subscribe, guys. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to try and put out more content. I've also put a link to a brand new Discord below. It's brand new, so but I'm keen to build a community and try and share a little bit more of my knowledge and my trade know-how with a few of you. Brilliant. Thanks very much. Cheers for joining.